driving since 3:30 this morning. I wasn't supposed to set off until about 5 or 6 because I'm booked on the 1 o'clock ferry, but I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'll drive down early, and hopefully they'll get me on the earlier ferry. There's one at 11 o'clock, so I'm hoping that they'll let me on that one if it's not full. It's a good drive down. Don't like driving in the dark very much on the roads in Thailand. A little bit iffy, but I've done it before, but it's not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. Anyway, our next stop is Donsak Pier, and there'll be no problems there. It'll be on the other side when I get off. Then I'll be stopped by people from quarantine and questioned, and hopefully my answers will be good enough for them to say, yeah, welcome back, Jed. What I'm hoping for is that they let me in and they let me self-quarantine, which entails them giving me a piece of paper, and every day I just take my temperature and tell them, tick off a list of questions about if I feel sick, if I've got temperature, if you know, I can't have breathing problems, things like that. But if they do that, that means I can go out. It means that I won't have to just stay in the hotel room. But if they insist on a full quarantine, then I'll have to stay in the hotel room for 14 days. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. This is the main road here to Donsak. It's only 5 minutes from here now, so I'll talk you through it. I'm hoping that they're going to let me on. I'm booked on the 1 o'clock ferry, but as I set off early, it's only 9:30 now, so I'm hoping they'll let me on the 11 o'clock ferry. They go every 2 hours, so there's one at I've just missed one at 9, the next one's at 11, and then the next one after that is the one I'm booked on. That's 1 o'clock. So I'm hoping they're going to say, yeah, you can get on. If the ferry's not full, they always let you on. They're good like that. But if the ferry is full of cars, then or trucks, then I'll have to wait for the 1 o'clock. I'll just go and do some driving around and do some videoing. If that's the case, I'll have a couple of hours to kill. So this is the road that leads to Donsak. If you go straight along this road, it takes you all the way to Malaysia. If you go straight, it takes you through Nakhon Si Thammarat and around by Krabi Way, and then way down past Hat Yai, and then you reach the Malaysian border in about, I think it'd probably be about a 7-8 hour drive, I would imagine, from here. This is the ferry port at Donsak, where you can get the ferry to Samui or Koh Phangan. There are 2 ferries leaving from here. They used to go every hour, but since COVID and no tourism, they only go every 2 hours now. Okay, we'll see if this lady's going to be helpful, and whoops. See if she's going to be helpful and let me get on the early ferry. Okay, at Donsak, there was a little bit of a screening when I arrived here. I didn't expect that. That's never happened before. They wanted to see my COVID test, and they also wanted to see the download that I downloaded with a scan, so they can see all my passport details and everything like that. But that was fine. They just ushered me through. I was then went to produce my ticket to see if I could get on the 11 o'clock ferry, and she said no, full, sorry. So I thought, oh no, okay, I got to wait till 1 o'clock. But I went to as usual, you know, I've lived in Thailand long enough to know that you don't just go to one person, you go to another. So I've gone to another desk further down. I drove down this way and went to the information, and I said, oh, I'm booked on the 1 o'clock, can I get on the 11 o'clock ferry? She said, oh, probably, just get in the queue. If it's full, they'll tell you, and then you'll have to wait. So I'll wait and see. But there's my, I'll show you around my motorbike and how I packed everything up. A bit messy, but I squashed everything in. Motorbike's there, hopefully not damaged, but it's solid. Everything, nothing moved, which is good, and it didn't rain coming down, so that was also good. I've got all my stuff in here, all my worldly goods, all my belongings. Car's very full. Only room for me, no passenger. So this is, I'll have a little walk around. I'll show you the Donsak Pier. So it's very beautiful here. It's see all the limestone cliffs. Very nice area. It's quite a good place to come actually, Donsak, even just for a weekend. And further down towards Koh as well is also very good. So we'll have a walk down. We can see the ferries. This left hand side today is Samui, and the right hand side here is for Koh Samui. So that means the ferry straight ahead is Koh Samui ferry. We drive straight on there. So this is Raja Ferry's pier. There's two piers here. So this is Raja Ferry, which is, they're only about 5 minutes apart, but only Raja ferries come into this port here at Donsak. A lot of trucks going over because maybe it's opened up now. People are starting to buy things again, stocking up their shops and looking to the future, hopefully. Hopefully there's a good future. From what I've seen and heard, it hasn't taken off very well, the Samui Plus scheme. There hasn't been many people coming, but it's early days, I suppose. There's a couple of rust bucket ferries there. I don't know if they're still in service. I hope not. I don't think that would make it over, that one. It's looking very rough. That's the problem. It's not like in the USA and Europe where they get checked every year. I used to work on ferries, so I know, the ferries have to come up to a certain standard, and every year they're inspected by Department of Transport or the Department of Shipping or whatever. But that one doesn't look too clever. So you go across here, there you can see Samui there actually in the distance. Just a bit cloudy today. So you can see Samui over there. So it's nice to be back. I'm looking forward to moving here, start my life off again. I like new challenges. I don't like staying still too much. Samui, I think, has always been my favourite place. I moved to Hua Hin because my girlfriend at the time, she wanted to open a men's barber shop, and she wanted to move closer to her family who were in Isan. Hua Hin's nowhere near Isan, but it's a lot easier to get to from Hua Hin than it is to get to from Koh Samui. But I've done it now, I've done it all. There's nothing else for me to see or do in Hua Hin, and I'm looking forward to coming back here to Samui and starting my life over. And there's a lot worse places you can start your life over than Koh Samui, I can tell you. Okay, we'll see if they'll let me on. I'm not booked on this one. One lady said maybe, another lady said no. Let's see what they say here. Maybe they won't look too closely at the ticket. Well, there you go. See, this is in Thailand. You've really got to don't always take someone's word for it. There's always ask for a second opinion because there's always two versions. Well, the first lady said, no, you can't get on. It's full. You'll have to wait till 1 o'clock. I went further down and asked another lady, and she said, oh, just get in the queue. If it's not full, they'll let you on. And okay, and I'm on. I'll come back out later and see if it is full. I'll see. I hope no one misses out on. I hope I haven't taken anyone else's spot. Okay, so this is the Raja ferry. They're not a pretty sight. They're not as modern as the other ferry company, but I found these better for me, easier to book online. But you can see that I'm not sure if that's the one that's sunk, and they maybe got it one sunk last year. That doesn't look in too good a condition. Not sure if that's the same one. Yeah, one sunk last year, 5 people died on it. But just look here, these beautiful limestone cliffs surrounding Donsak. And there in the distance there, that's Samui. So glad to be back. I just hope that when I get to the other side, I don't think I'll be sent back now, I think, because I've got all the papers that I needed, but I'm a bit worried about quarantine. I don't want to spend 14 days sat in a hotel room, but I'm quite happy to do it if I have to, just to get back. Last time I came here, there was a sort of a quarantine where you self-quarantined and you ticked off every day your temperature and made sure that you were, and you had to send the take a photo of the graph that they gave you to fill in. You had to take a photo of that every day and send it to them to prove that you were not sick and your temperature wasn't high. If I got a high temperature, I'd have to tell them, and then they would arrange for me to go to hospital. So anyway, I'm here. That's stage 2 out of the way. I'm on the ferry. Stage 1 was driving down, and it was a good drive, 6.5 hours, which is about average for me. So that was stage 1. Stage 2 is the ferry. I got on there alright, so that's not a problem. And I'm on an earlier ferry, which is a bonus. And stage 3 now will be the final stage, when we get to the other side, if they'll let me in. Fingers crossed.
Through the fields of our paths, feelings part our ways, keeping us close but estranged now. Dreams holding us closer, meadows of our youth, 107 days, but recalling it backwards.
It's quite... I thought they'd be waiting here, but I think they must be waiting on the road. Yeah, they're out on the road, the quarantine guys. Okay, this is it. This is the defining moment. This will tell me where I'm going to be living for the next few months. Am I heading back to Hua Hin on the next ferry, or are they going to let me in? I've turned this off now, I don't want to upset them. Well, that was great. I'm back in Samui. Yay! Easy. I don't have to quarantine. I've just got to self quarantine in a way by giving them my temperature every day. I'll explain that when I get back to the hotel. Yeah, I'm here, and it was easy, and I'll go through all that with you in case anyone else on here who's watching the video decides they want to make a trip. Having said that, it's easy now, but it changes every day, as I told you before, but it didn't change today, so I'm here. Okay, I'm back at Three Trees. Just got out of the car. Oh, it's so nice to be back. They put me in this room here. I'll show you in a second. This is the view from my room. This is the room. It's got a kitchen as well, not just a room. Nice kitchen. Tea and coffee, and toaster, fridge, and then it's got the room, which is beautiful as always. And this is my view tomorrow morning when I wake up. Wow. They've told me what it is. Echoes a bit in here. One sec. It's only a bathroom, so I'll whiz out of here. What they've told me is that well, the lady, because I stayed here before, they know me now, and she's offered me not this one. I can rent this one for 18,000 baht for a month, with this magnificent view right on the beach. Or just down there, the one on the end, not this one, but one 3 doors down, exactly the same hotel room, but that's only 10,000, so it's nearly half price, 10,000. I'll put that in dollars and pounds and Australian US dollars later, so you know what that is. So that's the bargains that are going at the moment in this hotel, and I'll probably go around a lot more hotels and show you what you can get for your dollar. But I mean, look at this, for 18,000 for a month, not for a week. 18,000 for 30, and it's not a 28-day month, it's a calendar month. So tomorrow's the 1st of August. So it's 31 days if I want to take this one. 18,000, or the other one, which is just a short walk from the beach to the beach. It's only a few seconds. You don't get the view, but you can walk down here and get the view. I think I'll save the 8,000, and I'll get one for 10,000. I can spend the 8,000 on better things, I think.
Of our paths, feelings part our ways, keeping us close but estranged now. Dreams holding us closer, meadows of our youth, 107 days, but recalling it backwards. Our dreams holding us closer. So clear. Ooh, we can see so clear.
Swaddy Cab, Jed here from Retiring Disgracefully. As you can see, I'm all settled in to my hotel here in Lamai and loving it. Really relaxed. I haven't felt this relaxed since I left Koh Samui over a month ago, so it's great to be back. I didn't have any problems getting into Koh Samui. I thought I was going to have many problems. I thought they could even have sent me back, but no. It took me maybe 10 minutes when I got off the ferry to talk with quarantine. They line you up and each car has to give an explanation why they're there, to get their temperature taken, and then they're vetted more if they think there's a problem. Now then, since I've been here, I spoke to the lady who owns the hotel, and she tells me there's been a spike in figures here in Koh Samui of COVID, which is very disappointing for everyone. I think everyone thought that opening up for their new scheme of Samui Plus was going to be the start of the tourism returning to the island, but unfortunately the COVID has managed to get in despite all of their procedures and all the things you need to do to get on the island. Now they've still got people coming on, or had people coming on the island, and it's now starting to spread through the island. So it's not as I thought it would be, but hey, I'm still happy to be here. If it's the same as Hua Hin, if everything has to go in lockdown, at least I'm in a place where I prefer to be. I love Hua Hin, don't get me wrong. I'll go back there for holidays often, and one day, who knows, I might move back there. I like it very much, so don't think I'm dissing Hua Hin. I'm not. I'm just saying about the place I prefer. I like island living. I'm off out tonight. I'm going to go and hopefully have a well-earned night on the town, because I haven't done that for a long time. Hopefully the town's open, but with this new COVID spike, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be the case. I asked the lady here in the hotel, the owner, and she didn't know. She said that she thought that everything was still open, but a lot of places had chosen not to open because the tourism numbers weren't there. They were still opening up and still not having any customers. So we'll see. I'll be off into town in a couple of hours, and I'll take you with me, and you can see what Lamai is like on the 31st of August 2021. Okay, I want to go through the procedures of what you can expect if you decide you want to come to Koh Samui and then to the island. When you first get to Donsak Pier, there's just before you get to the ticket desk, where you have to show your ticket to gain access to the ferry, you'll find a small station for quarantine, and they just basically just look to make sure that you have your COVID certificate to say you're COVID free, and they also make sure that you've downloaded the app that gives the officials, when you get to Koh Samui, it gives the officials all your documentation, your passport number, where you've been in the past 2 weeks, what symptoms of COVID do you have any of those symptoms, just all your general details, so that when you get to the other end you don't have to give it to them then, and that takes time. It's just a matter of them looking at the download that you've downloaded and sent to them, and they'll see that all your details. So then you get on the ferry, sail across on a 1.5 hour ferry ride to Samui, then get off the other end, and that's where the problems will start if you don't have the right credentials and the right certificates. So you'll be stopped then on the road. As you leave the ferry terminal, you'll find a line of police and army personnel stopping every car, checking every car to make sure that everyone has the right documentation. Some live on the island or regular visitors, and they know them, and they just look at quick glance and say, yeah, off you go. Others, like me, I had to park my car up and then go and present my documentation, which I did, and I presented my COVID certificate to say that I'm COVID free. That COVID certificate must be within 72 hours of you taking the COVID test, which is very easy. It's a 2-minute job. They put a swab in your nose and just take a swab, and then they send it to the lab, and the next morning you go and pick it up. But that certificate is only valid for 72 hours. So if you're going to do that on a Saturday and you're traveling on a Wednesday, it won't be valid. So make sure you do it 72 hours before, and it'll take 24 hours before you get the result back. So you present that certificate, you present the app that you downloaded, you present that so that they can see your details. They will then let you in the country, or let you on the island, I should say, as long as you've done the right thing. Now that's as it stands now. Because of the spike, maybe that will change. So you need to check yourself. If you're not planning on coming here today, you need to check tomorrow, because things might have changed, the situation might have changed. But that's as it was today when I entered. And then they give you one of these, which you then have to fill in. Right way up. You then have to fill this in every 24 hours. Every morning when you get up, you take your temperature. The hotel you're staying at will probably have one of them little machines that take your temperature, and you write it in here. If the hotel doesn't have one, you can go to any 7-Eleven or family store and just put your hand in front of the little machine. It'll tell you your temperature, and you can come back and then write it in here. And you put in your temperature. You put in if you've had a fever, a cough, sore throat, runny nose. Just tick off yes or no, many of them sort of things, and then you take a photo of it and send it to the person who will check it. Then they'll return a few hours later. You'll get a confirmation that they've received it, and you just do that for 14 days. You don't have to quarantine, you don't have to stay home. If you've got this, you don't have to stay home for 14 days or stay in a hotel for 14 days. This allows you, as long as your temperature is at the right scale, and as long as you are not feeling ill, then you can go around the island and do as you please. So that's basically what it is. But as I said, this could change. Things change in Thailand all the time anyway, because they make a rule up and somebody will interpret it in a different way, or they'll change the rule a few days later. So please check. Don't just think that, oh yeah, I saw Jed a week ago on the video, so I can do that. I'll head off today, because things might have changed. And you can let me know. Me being here in Samui, maybe I can find out a little bit easier. If you thinking of coming here, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try and find out what I can for you. But even then, sometimes it's very hard to find out things here. Sometimes they change the rules but don't tell anyone, and then when you get there, when you get to quarantine, they tell you, oh no, your rules have changed, you have to have this or you have to have this. So bear that in mind. Things are not always black and white here in Thailand.